So I am gonna bake sorrel flavored fruit cake. So I am gonna put the fruits into a food processor to blend them out. So this is 1 cup, 1 cup raisins, 1 cup prunes, 1 cup currants, and 1 cup cherries, soaked in fruit wine and overproof white rum. Of course, you can use red label wine if you want to use that, but I personally do not like red label wine in my cake. This fruit wine smells just like red label wine, tastes similar to red label wine, but it's not that concentrated. I am also will be adding a little bit of sorrel syrup. And this sorrel syrup, I already uploaded a video showing you how to make it and blend the fruits off camera. So this is of the consistency that I want. This is the fruit wine that I use. I added a little bit more fruit wine to the blended fruits, as well as some of the overproof white rum. So I won't be adding any more rum to the cake. So now I am covering the container with the blended fruits with a piece of paper towel, and then let it stay on the countertop until I'm ready to use it. This is 2 cups of all-purpose flour already sifted. To the flour, I am adding 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon salt. This is 1 tablespoon mixed spice I will be adding, right? And as usual, I don't put nutmeg and those other things in my fruit cake. Just gonna ensure that the ingredients are well combined. So I'm gonna set this aside and move on to the next step. In this container, I am gonna add 1 cup margarine, and I'm using chiffon margarine, and they say that chiffon margarine is heart healthy. To this I am adding, well, this is not 1 full cup, but this is a 1 cup, right? But the cup is not full because I don't want to use a lot of sugar. Yeah, and I'm using granulated sugar because it is much easier to cream than the brown sugar. So I'm gonna cream the margarine and the sugar until light and fluffy. So I think this is good enough. Alright, so in this container are 6 eggs. The eyes already removed, so I'm gonna add them one by one. So now I am adding 2 teaspoons of lime juice. So now I'm gonna add the fruits. Man, it smells so good. So I'm gonna add the remaining sorrel syrup. So I'm gonna add the flour mixture a little at a time. So the first video that I uploaded with using the breadcrumbs with the flour, the mixture is much tighter because I wanted that to be like a pudding consistency. So it was a bit heavier than this mixture. This mixture is not as tight as that. So this is gonna give me like a cake. This is a lighter consistency. Which one do I prefer? The pudding. We have a lot of people that prefer the cake, including my husband. So make sure to mix to mix properly or stir properly so you don't have any dry up flour. Right? So it's best to fold and cut. Fold and cut. So if you like, you can leave it at this color because a lot of people leave it at this color right here. But I am going to add a little bit of browning to mine to make it a little bit darker. So something I should say about the consistency. You want to ensure that it is a bit runny like this because you don't want it to be stiff, too stiff, else the cake will be too dry when it is baked. So it's best to have this type of consistency, a bit runny. I'm gonna bake the cake in two 6-inch baking tin. So I grease the two baking tin using margarine. And then place piece of cottage paper at the bottom of each tin. Now scrape the butter into each tin, ensuring that enough space leaves so that the cake can rise. Now tap to release any air bubbles. So a small amount of butter leave into the container. So I grease a disposable baking tin, and then I pour the small amount of butter into it. Preheat an oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and bake the cake for 1 hour. But when it reaches 40 minutes, you can start testing to see if the cake is baked. You can insert a tooth prick in the center, and if it comes out clean, the cake is baked. Immediately after removing the cake from the oven, you know they are baked, so you remove them from the oven. Then you pour some wine on top. In Jamaica we say wine the cake, right? And let the cake rest, let it cool completely before cutting. It's best to cut the cake at least 5 days after it has been baked, because the older the cake gets, the better it tastes. But hey, nobody can wait so long. So, you know, just make sure that the cake cool completely before cutting. This cake is moist and this cake is delicious, and you can actually taste the sorrel and the wine and the rum combined together to give a nice blend in your mouth. So thanks for watching. This is sorrel fruit cake.